Hey, YouTube. What do you think about this movement that's going on? I've been seeing a lot of videos of very odd people doing odd things. There's a movement that's going on. I don't even know what it's called. Maybe you know. But it's a type of extreme minimalism. That's about all that I can say. I don't know any other word for it. But their goal is to get down to a certain amount of tangible items. Like, how many things can you reduce your physical property down to? Things that you own, like shoes or a watch or, things like that. Pocket knife or flashlight, like all your possessions. If you could reduce them down, if you counted all of them on a list and you reduce it down, how far can you go? I mean, it just blows my mind. For one, the first thing is like how irresponsible you guys, are. They're doing this. And I'm not trying to be like judgmental, but it's just I see how far you're taking this. And you may be curious of like, well, how far people are taking this. Are they getting down to what, 1,000 items? 500 items? No. There's like people who are doing 150 items, 100 items. There's actually a group of people also doing 50 items. I ran into the other day a guy that was already down to 25 items. Now, I don't know. I don't even understand that. I have like at least 25 items in my person right now. This guy could literally walk around with everything on his person. And that's all he owns. That's all the things that he actually physically owns, his property in the world. And he's a middle-aged guy. He's got a part-time job. It's not like, he's not making a lot of money. He's renting an apartment, and that's what he thinks is a priority, is to see how low of ownership that he can go. And I mean, maybe as a project or something temporarily, I don't know. Maybe it could be interesting, but I don't think so. For me, it's reckless, because if an emergency happen, you don't have the capabilities to overcome the threats because you don't have nothing to pull from. You have skills and knowledge, yeah, but sometimes you need tools, you need stuff to get you through. I mean, don't you agree? I mean, so this guy basically just had a couple changes of clothing, and he had a watch and a wallet and some keys, and that was pretty much it, besides a few other things. But he didn't have a multi-tool. He didn't have a pocket knife. He didn't have a flashlight. He didn't have any kind of what you would call any kind of like prepper stuff at all. Nothing. And then guess what he said? That his goal was to get down to 10 items. Wow. I mean, seriously, that's like, let's see, a shirt, pants. Let's say it's an elastic pants, so you don't need a belt. You got some socks. Let's just say 2 socks equal 1. Underwear. Let's say you don't need sunglasses and hats. Maybe you need a wallet, right? Just to hold something. And I'm not going to go extreme and count everything in his wallet, even though he was trying to say that you should. So we already have half of everything if he's going for 10. And the other 5, okay, he had and I think you would want to have at least a blanket. He had a blanket and a pillow, right? He had a toothbrush. And what else did he have? A comb. He had a comb. And the last thing was, can't remember actually. But of course, I'm just throwing this out there, Oh, I think it was, his keys. I think it was maybe a keychain or something on it, or a keys or his keys, whatever. I'm just counting all that as one. But that was pretty much it. That right there, that was his goal to get down to. And, man, I don't know. Do you understand this? Like, do you see what this is all about? I don't understand this. Do you see how I can see how this could be very reckless and irresponsible, and how you just push your safety net on others? This is reckless on so many levels. I hope this doesn't become a bigger trend. Yes, I'm against materialism. I'm not like, saying everybody needs all this stuff, but sometimes you just need enough stuff to be safe. And so please don't fall into this trap. This is all nonsense. This is craziness. And so I guess my question to you is how many things do you think, just ballpark it, just by walking around your house and doing some quick numbers, that you would need to be comfortable? I don't know how you would count all your preps. Maybe you wouldn't even want to count for this particular exercise, like food reserves and water containers, but you may. But I mean, I just walked around the house, man, and just in one room, and I couldn't even get through a half a room, and I had like hundreds of items, that I counted. And I gave up after I got past 200 items. I was just like, I'm done. There would be a lot of items, many hundreds. In fact, if I was being honest, maybe thousands of items that I feel like are pretty important. I mean, just a decent toolkit has over 100 tools. When you add like every piece, like a socket here and another size socket and a screwdriver, different size drivers. I mean, seriously, like just a toolkit can get you over that, over what he would consider, or a lot of people would consider their goals. I think there's a problem in America that people don't have anything to live for. They don't have a focus. They don't even know what the freak's going on. And they pick these silly little lifestyles, these ridiculous types of living arrangements that are like going to get themselves killed. I mean, can you imagine though, if that's all you had was just like 10 items, let's just say 25. Let's say that because that's what he had at the moment. He didn't actually have 10 yet, but the 10 little measly items that he showed, which could pretty much just, fit on the corner of a bed, okay? That couldn't get you through anything. He didn't have a flashlight, a multi-tool, a knife, nothing. No firearm, no water bottle, no nothing. No water filters, even more important. This guy is living on the edge. Like if there is an edge, if there ever was an edge, this guy is just living on it. I mean, there's probably homeless people who have more stuff than that. And I find it very concerning because if something he ever came up that he had to overcome, it's not like he could just grab for his multi-tool or say, oh, I'm going to go in my car and get that because he doesn't have anything in his car. It's very concerning on a lot of levels. Anyways, I'm not going to rant about this. I just had to bring this up because it's been churning in my head for days. And I'm like, if I get a video on this, I'll get it out of my head. That's what typically helps me is if I talk about it and get it on a video. What are your thoughts on any of this, or if you had any comments? They would be very cool. Minimalistic, hyper minimalistic, or extreme minimalistic lifestyles. Do you understand it? Do you think that there's a place for it? Do you think it's reckless? And if you even want to chime in, do you think that there's a certain number of things that when you go underneath of that threshold that you're reckless? I don't know if there's actually a number for me personally. I think it's just depends on your situation, where you live, the needs that you have. But I really don't understand how you could even get under maybe like 400 or 500. That to me would be an immense challenge. Just because you have various categories of preps, different things you would need. You have different seasons that require different types of clothing. I don't know anybody that just owns one pair of shoes. I mean, I own maybe 7 to 8 pairs of shoes at least, plus several sandals and some flip-flops and blah, 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 some boots on top. I mean, and that's just me, that's more possibly than this guy, is going to end up being at 10 items, just my shoes. I mean, I wonder, do you have to count the shoelaces?